Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. I am Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and this is Cosmic Connections. And we're going to be talking about the full moon. Can you feel the energy? It's peaking tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time at 7:26 in the morning, and but usually right before the full moon. Not usually, all the time, actually. We have a phase called the gibbous phase. Now, the gibbous phase is oh, okay, there we go. I think I'm live. All right, the gibbous phase is the phase that occurs right before the moon is exactly 180 degrees opposite to the sun. One can actually see the exactitude of that degree, of that full moon phase. And so when we look at the course of a month, we divide that into 8 sections. We have the new phase, we have the crescent phase, etc. And then we have the full phase, which is the culmination of something you may have been working on since the previous new moon phase. So we get our feedback at the full moon. But the couple of days before is often a time when emotions are heightened and we may be feeling this anticipatory feeling that something's got to give, but we're feeling stressed, we're feeling a little bit more emotional. Oftentimes, we're feeling a lot more psychic and intuitive. So, the question of the night for you all, please pitch in here. Are you feeling a little bit more either emotional or intuitive or psychic? Because I know I am, I feel it. Good evening, Cynthia. Hi, Sherry. Nice to see you. And one of the interesting things about this particular gibbous phase is we have a lot of things that are growing in tension with this full moon. And so I like to equate the full moon energy with a balloon being blown. And then it fills the balloon. It can be receiving no more air, otherwise it's going to burst. And then the air starts to deflate. And there's a sense of exhale. So we're inhaling until 7:26 tomorrow morning at the peak, at the brink of this beautiful full moon energy. Hi, Diane. Good evening. Hi, Leslie. Thanks for being here, friends. And if you're new and you're just listening, I do this every Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I talk a little bit about the chart that's most relevant for the week. And again, we have 8 phases, so sometimes I'll focus mostly on the major phases of new, quarter, full, and quarter phase. And then we talk about how that might pertain to your life. And then I do some spiritual messages. Hi, Gail. I hope everything went well with your procedures, my friends. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Gladys. Thanks for being here. And again, has anyone been feeling a little bit more heightened in their emotions this week, especially the past 48 hours? Because theoretically, we can just kind of exhale and feel better. Joanne, hello there. And I went through this last night during our class. You know, some of you might be interested in going a little deeper with your astrology. On November 12th, I'm going to be doing an intermediate class, and we're going to really dive in with the aspects and transits. So if you are kind of a casual astrological student, you know where the houses are, you know where the planets are, you have an inkling of your chart, you know how to read your chart, but you want to go deeper, sign up on my newsletter. I'll be talking about that new offering for you. It'll be on Tuesday nights. I like Tuesday nights to teach. So we're just finishing up the beginners class, and we've had a great time. That's just an aside. So how is everyone tonight? Hi, Sam. Oh, you're going to be at Lily Dale. I know you're going to be in the catalog next year, Sam. Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay. All right. What happened, Rodney? Anxiety, the flooding of your home. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, God bless you, Rodney. You're such a good person. We've all been sending you guys lots of prayers, but, you know, yeah, for sure. This time frame that we've had both eclipses and now the full moon, where we're able to see in the dark, we're seeing really the aftermath of Helene and of Milton. But things should begin to kind of be exhaled and not necessarily calm necessarily. Well, let me show you the chart, what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's better to give a visual to you all. So again, this is the full moon. Full moons always illuminate. Full moons are the culmination of the month's arena. And this is a particularly important full moon of the entire year because it's been attached to Aries and Libra energy, which has been the theme of 2024 because we've had eclipses, my friends, in Aries and Libra. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment and tie it, by the way, to the fundamental, one of the fundamental, not the only fundamental, but one of the fundamental crises I've been observing this year. So, specific to the full moon, a man is having the possibility to gain experience of two levels of being. This basically suggests that all of us, have two brains. We have a right and left hemisphere where we often weave information that's both logical and intuitive. So I love the Sabian symbol for the degree of the full moon because it's asking you to look at the possibility of not necessarily saying yes or no, but saying there's more information to be had. There's more experience and more information that can be gleaned from any particular experience. So any experience can give us two depthful levels of experience to improve and evolve our own soul. So that's the symbol of this full moon. Meanwhile, you can see very clearly on the chart, there's a box that's being formed, right? That's called, my friends, a grand square. And you might say that this is something's got to give. It's the big box formation. A grand square in astrology is formed when we have four major planets in the same modality. This is the modality of the cardinal signs, the signs that like to start things: Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. They're forming a box. So another question of the week: are you feeling like you're boxed in? Have there been some crises? Of course. Thank you for sharing that, Rodney. My gosh, you are a true hero. The heroes who have been adjusting their lives in response to the devastation in the Southwest and in Florida. And that's been ever present in everyone's mind since the first eclipse of the series, which was on the 17th of September. That was in Pisces and Virgo. And then, of course, the solar eclipse of October 2nd, which set a new tone. So as you can see, the full moon is saying, are we being effective in handling this immediacy, this crisis? As you know, FEMA has gotten a lot of attention and pushback and feedback. They weren't all that fabulous, so many people say. And I would say this in response: this lesson, the longer form lesson of 2008 until 2024, is a reminder to each of us that we may have the best government in the world. We might have this agency and that agency and this mayor and this president and this prime minister. When it comes right down to it, we are sovereign beings that oftentimes we have to depend on our own self. So that's a message of this year. I'm really compartmentalizing it quite a bit. I'll be talking a lot more about this tomorrow night during my workshop on this full moon. The other thing about the full moon, friends, is that just today we have more food recalls. That's shown in the chart. Hygeia is public health. Hygeia is noticed in the chart as HYG, at 0 degrees of Taurus, which is a foodie sign opposite to Mercury, which of course is information and announcements and food recalls, in the sign of Scorpio, which of course means danger and can mean danger. So that's what's going on. We're going to be seeing more and more rebalancing of nutrition and safety as we move through in 2025, but that is also a part of this full moon. I thought it was really interesting. There are so many asteroids, and many of them are named asteroids. And I thought this was just kind of interesting. There is an asteroid called Camilla, like Queen Camilla. It's not the name of the presidential candidate exactly, but Camilla tonight is opposite Black Moon Lilith. And tonight, Ms. Harris is giving an interview on Fox Network. And so Black Moon Lilith can also represent an adversarial energy. So is she meeting up with an adversarial network? I don't know. But it might be a lot of smoke and mirrors, because we do know, please do your own research. The mainstream news is owned by this many corporate structures. So while they seem to be polarized in their opinions, there's a lot of cohesiveness and consistency amongst the messages of mainstream media. The whole media has changed, of course, in its genesis and in its distribution of information for us all, and the rise of independent sources of information has been astronomical since the North Node was in Gemini back in June of 2020. So information and how it's disseminated has really been very, very, very different. Having said that, back to the astrology, at an emotional level, we may be feeling these blockages, these attacks, these frustrations, trying to get something accomplished and being caught in this cage, this bird cage of going up and down and all around and not being quite able to get outside of our box. And we think in terms of what? I want to get outside and get outside of the limitation that seems to be in my life and move through that. We will be able to do so after the full moon peaks. Again, that's at 7:26 tomorrow morning. That's Eastern Daylight Time. So under the light of the full moon, I'm wanting to display the astrological deep dive of the election. It's on everyone's mind. And again, it's the election season kind of represents this polarity of me versus you versus me, which may be just an illusion, this polarity that's been going on all year long, because the eclipses have been in Aries and in the sign of Libra. So we're going to look at how is the full moon affecting Ms. Harris and Mr. Trump? How is the full moon going to be affecting the last couple of weeks prior to the election day, which falls under a new moon cycle? All of that is going to be some really heavy duty astrology. I hope you can attend, because the caveat will not just be about the election and some predictions about the day of the election in the US, but also afterwards, Inauguration Day, plus how is the full moon affecting you and your chart? You don't have to be there to live, that is. You can sign up for the class, and I will give you a little reading of your chart, and I'll mail it to you by email or by text, a little reading of the chart, because the message for the next 2 weeks, friends, is 24 degrees of Aries. What is being illuminated in Aries in your chart? So let's go through that for you. Okay. If you're in Aries or Aries rising, it's all about you. This is a fantastic full moon for you to receive information about your own charisma, your own strength, your own leadership abilities. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, this particular full moon is shining in what we call your house of the unconscious, dreams, prayers, meditation, and really spend some time in recovering physically. Do a little bit of daydreaming, if not night dreaming, for the Tauruses. For Gemini or Gemini rising, the full moon energy within the next 2 weeks will be illuminating who your true friends are and giving you some information about how to create a more effective social life that's very satisfying for you. For the Cancers or Cancerizers, the full moon is illuminating where you want to be in your career, in your leadership, in the community, how you want to set the tone for leading other people. For Leo or Leo rising, this full moon is helping you decide what direction you want to go. Literally, perhaps some new travel and or expressing yourself and your truth in a new way, writing, teaching, and again, traveling. For Virgo or Virgo rising, dig down deep within yourself and tap into your inner power. That's what the full moon is asking you to do. And power sometimes is equated with financial power, but not always. In this case, it's psychological, spiritual power where you can feel your own sense of destiny, where you're going in your own direction, in your own way. That's for our Virgo friends. For Libra or Libra rising, this full moon is helping you to discern who your BFFs are and how to become a better best friend or a better spouse or a better lover to the people who are closest to you. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, the full moon is illuminating your health. What do you need to do to become healthier? What do you need to do to become a steward of your physical body, whether that means eating better, sleeping better, or exercising? For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, the full moon is shining in your house of play and fun and helping you create a more enjoyable life for yourself. Let the joy come through for Sagittarius. For Capricorn, it's all about your home and your family and ways to present yourself as a steward of tradition and safety within your family's home as a structure or within your family's emotions. So being the authority for your family members, Capricorn. Aquarius, it's all about you taking time to schedule new time for yourself to be a better time manager and maybe ask for some time off or basically become someone who has more mindfulness in where you're spending your time with work, with play, with self-care. This is all the Aquarius people. And Pisces, this full moon is shining up your income house. Are you making enough money? Are you concerned about money? So these are the arenas that are being triggered within your own chart. If you want to learn more, please join me tomorrow night. I left the link at the beginning. You just go on my website under products, and I will also give you a deep dive into where this affects you in your chart. All right. Now, dear friends, there'll be definitely light out of this darkness. Absolutely, Gemini. I would say hi to everybody. I also left the link to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And one of the aspects of astrology is also something called the fixed stars. There's a fixed star called Algol. Algol is often thought of as a mysterious planet of violence and beheading, for example. Some of the mythology attached in astrology, it can be very downright grim. Well, in any case, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency is going to be doing a special webinar on a new look at Algol. So please check that out. And again, please check out my webinar tomorrow on the election and the deep dive into Ms. Harris's and Mr. Trump's charts. And some predictions too. We all love predictions. I don't know. Sometimes we don't. Okay. Hi, Mary Grace. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, Algol, right, Ryan? Hi, Leslie. We're going into the message time of Cosmic Connections. So let me know if you want a message. I'll be doing that in just a moment. Leslie, Peggy, you need more enlightenment tonight. Yes, Peggy, you know what? We all wake up with our own message. I can't give you all messages tonight, but upon awakening, after 7:26 Eastern Daylight Time in the morning, we're going to have some new resolve and be getting out of that limitation of that grand square. I know so many people, myself included, who have felt frustrated this past week. Like you do one thing and something else is taking your attention. You feel like you're this hamster on this wheel and you can't get off the wheel and you're just downright frustrated at best and angry at worst, right? That's that type of energy this week. We're getting out of that. It's going to be moving forward. Hey, Jill. Hi, Mary. Hi, Sam. Yes. Oh, you're coordinating the Astro Cafe too, Sam. Fabulous. Okay, Angela. Linnell, hello. Good morning from Australia, dear heart. Hi, Ryan. And Ryan, you'll learn where it is tomorrow night because you're coming to the class. Can't wait to see you. Hi, Alexandra. Hi, Trish. Hi, Beth. Thank you for commenting that. She did already do the interview, Cheryl. Okay, interesting. Again, because it's just weird because Black Moon Lilith was opposite Camilla. That's the name of the asteroid, friends. There's actually an asteroid called Cassandra, but it's spelled with a K. So it's not that strong in my chart. I mean, it's strong enough. Look up the asteroids. Hey, I'll do a class on asteroids. They are fascinating. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be talking about her birthday on tomorrow's night's class. Absolutely. No problem, Rhonda. You're never late. Oh, gosh, Ryan, get rid of those bad avocados. I'm telling you, friends, food, health is going to be the biggest issue next year, right? That's kind of why I got interested in seeing RFK Jr. being elevated. Wherever he lands, whatever happens, I want to hear more about that man because he is much more than, I'm going to say it, an anti-Veer. He helps the rivers, has helped the rivers. And best of all, we'll talk about his chart tomorrow too. His moon is 13 degrees of Cancer. I'm talking about RFK Jr. And please, no one knows him in this room. So we don't want to cast any, he's bad. We don't like that. I'm just talking to you about the astrology. 13 degrees of Cancer is the exact degree of our nation's sun sign. So say what you will, RFK wants to clean up our food and he loves this country. All right. I'm sorry, is that being too political? Forgive me. Let's do some spiritual work. Okay, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love, light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and for the best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. I am with Valerie. Hello, Valerie. How are you, darling? As I'm tuning into your energy, I'm seeing you. I don't know if you've been doing more yoga or stretching, but I'm seeing the spine just like, I don't know why I'm seeing your spine. I mean, I'm not seeing your spine. I'm seeing inside my inner eyesight, inner eye, inner sight. You're getting, your spine is a representation. You're getting your back up. Okay, Valerie. Now this represents a metaphorical, I'm standing my ground. I'm maybe actually physically doing some yoga or some stretching at the chiropractic office. I have no idea. But your back is up and you're feeling absolutely inspired by divine spirit to move forward on some issue in your life. It may be involving some of the work you do with young mothers, but it feels like it's bigger than that and more than that, that you're advocating or speaking up like in a public hearing or something like this, Valerie. That's the number one psychic impression I'm giving to you tonight. Secondarily, I'm feeling someone from spirit. And this was an older woman, and she was on the periphery of your household growing up. She could have been a great aunt. In other words, wasn't a real close relative, a great aunt, or an older relative. Very beautiful woman, very elderly, kept herself together, very well spoken, very intelligent. And she passed quickly. I think it was heart. She was healthy, gone, right? That was her life. Healthy and serving and inspiring everyone around her. She may have been in the teaching profession. She was very much a caregiver. She was very independent and very, to use an astrological analogy, very Pallas Athena. She was like you. I don't even know where your Pallas Athena is in your chart, but I'm getting the word Pallas Athena, an asteroid, which means the feminine goddess of the advocate, So she's been directing you, Valerie, to stand your ground, stand guard, and keep on doing what you're doing. That's the message from this woman in spirit. God bless you. Okay. I'm now with Elaine Olszewski. Hello, Elaine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I am connecting with you, Elaine, I'm feeling a very gentleness about your energy. When I say gentleness, I mean, maybe soft-spoken and careful, considerate, and not timid, but discerning about other people's feelings. You have a real empathic side to you, and you want to make sure that people are all comfortable, but you abhor conflict and wordsmithing with others. People who are sarcastic in a funny way, you don't like that. You're very good at keeping people peaceful in conflict. Why I'm picking up that warm blanket or warm thing, because there's someone in spirit who used to do some form of needlework. I'm sorry, not needlework, knitting or crocheting, and you may have some of her old art pieces, like an old quilt. I'm feeling this is a grandmother that's coming in, and she's warming you physically with her gift of these crocheted quilts, but she's also trying to warm your heart and to make you realize that you're very well loved because you have that gentle quietness about you. And I'm giving you I'm going to give you a date here. I want to go to the middle of January of 2025 with you, Elaine, and I want to say this. At that time, if you have been wanting to clean up your dietary, cooking, nutritional service within the home and family and with other people, you're going to be making some changes in the kitchen, maybe even changing up your kitchen and eating more pure. It's something about something you've been wanting to do, but at the new year, middle of January, it's a lot easier to do that. And you'll have whether the means or the time to take care of those types of issues for you. All right. I hope that makes sense. Okay. I'm pretty good at timing, right? We just made it to 9 o'clock. Going to answer any of your questions here. Okay. Yeah, Alexandra asked about, yes, I do phone and Zoom readings all the time, my dear. Just go to my website, CassandraJoanButler.com. Would love to work with you. I work with people all around. Blessings for the full moon to you, Cindy. And that's a cute little child in your picture. Hi, Elaine. Did that make sense, Valerie? You said, oh my God, so I hope it did. Hi, Audra. Nice to see you. Hi, Mary. Hello, Julius from Brazil. Okay, you're very welcome. Yoga, you do yoga. Okay. All right. Hi, Ricky Lynn. Okay. You guys are awesome. John, big hugs to you. John B. You know, I see your names and I just get this impression of who you are right away. It's so fun. Love you guys. Exhale tomorrow morning. It's going to feel better. I'm telling you, it's been a rocky week for many of us, me too, but it's going to feel a lot more gentle. And then we're going to set a new agenda for our new moon in Scorpio. And please keep in mind that symbol. A man is experiencing two planes at the same time. It's the symbol of faith, and it's the symbol of being able to integrate two different points of view. That will be very important as we set out for the last couple of weeks prior to the USA election. And there's more news in the world than the USA election, but it really fits the eclipses, which will be changing in mid-January. God bless you. See you next Wednesday.